start off with BT.
How you doing today, Alex?
I'm alive.
On we all.
Yeah.
When your discussion with Rob and Frank, did you guys talk much about your development, the next stage you want to take, and ideas of how they can hopefully you guys join forces again next season?
Yeah, in more or less words. Just talked about some progress that I've made. Unfortunate season that we had, or at least the ending that we had. Battling through some adversity through the year. Asked me different things about what I wanted to try and get better at. Obviously that, I'm a free agent looming come August. Hopefully we can return and continue a great partnership, but that's obviously for a later date.
Mike Trudell.
Hey, Alex, so we know that the ankle held you out of the second half, but I wanted to ask you just about how you responded physically in general and how you thought that all this kind of traced back to the bubble, to the different offseason, and the various different guys that went through that run, went down at certain points. How did you think it was all connected, and how did you get through it with your body?
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle at times. All the way up until last night, we had KCP playing on one leg, AD trying to go and he couldn't move. My foot acted up a little, kept me out of the second half. So, that was just kind of the storyline of the year, which is unfortunate. Outside circumstances taken away from, obviously, I think the potential that this team had. But yeah, short off season didn't help. We'll never really know. The science will tell you that, the recovery time and all that doesn't help. But, at the end of the day, there's always some luck involved with getting to the end and being able to play in the end. So I think the year before we had, we were on the right side of that. And this year we were just on the wrong side of it.
And then, Alex, just to follow up, your experience with the Lakers and specifically maybe even playing with LeBron and AD, how much does that factor into the decisions that are going to come this summer?
Yeah, big. Anytime you're playing with those two, you have a chance to win a championship, a realistic chance to win a championship. And I know a lot of people around the league think they do. And, going into the season, everybody talks about what their goals are and stuff like that. But it's a realistic, attainable goal with those two guys on your team. So that's always in the back of your mind.
Dave.
Alex, what was grind would be the best way to describe it, of not really having an off period this year because you are maintaining the requirements for testing and things like that. Was it hard to get mental reset at times because games were on top of one another, and then on top of that, on and off day, you're still having to go in and take care of stuff like that?
Yeah, it was just, a little more adversity thrown into the mix for what this year was for us. Obviously, everybody had this on their plate, but waking up and testing every day, regardless of what the schedule is, where you're playing, what you're doing. It became routine, but obviously it's not part of a routine that was comfortable or most comfortable for us. Obviously, that's out of our control. That's something that we just have to do and get through. But that was just another sprinkle on top of how tough the season was.
Dan.
This might be a hard question to answer now, but I'm curious, kind of as you go into the summer and weigh your options, how do you kind of balance, like you said, you kind of know what the partnership has been like with the Lakers versus, growth opportunities, whether it's maybe a chance to do more, to play more, et cetera. Kind of like, do you know sort of what you want at this point?
No, I don't really think I can put that, make a list and power rank stuff right now. I was planning on getting on a plane and flying to Phoenix today. So there's a lot of things that I, will sit down and think about and plan out, including, what my off season looks like as far as working out and getting stuff done that, are real world goals that things that I finally have a chance to do now that, I have a real off season with being a pro and I'm not scrapping for a job, wondering where I'm going to play. So, that's something I don't think I can answer right now. Obviously there's a bunch of different things that go into it and, stuff we've talked about is mixed in there.
To follow up real quickly, Alex, you got a chance kind of late in the season to play as a primary ball handler and a playmaker for, I don't know, like a week or so. How valuable was that experience, do you think, to play starting point guard on a team, and what did you take from it?
Yeah, I've had instances here and there when I was on two-way and even a little bit the year before where I got to start and be the lead role. I've kind of used those opportunities to lead into this year where I, did it for a couple weeks in meaningful games that we were trying to win. And I loved it. That's just the competitor in me. That's the nature of basketball. Anytime you get to play more, it's a good thing, especially in the NBA. It's great paying job. Basketball's fun for me. So all these things mixed in, opportunity. It's just a really good experience and a lot of fun for me to do. And obviously it played well in a couple games. So that, it's just a cherry on top.
Kyle.
Hey, Alex. Obviously, injuries seem to be the main factor, including, the injury that you had last night. But you talked pretty consistently over the course of the season about the guys who were on the championship team last year, trying to bring along the guys who are not. And I'm wondering, did you feel that disconnect played any role in how series played out or how the chemistry was at the end of the year?
No, I don't think it was a disconnect. I think, just through the ups and downs of the years of having so many different lineups and so many different roles changing depending on who's available and who's not. I think in the end kind of bit us in the butt just not having, the habits and the execution of how we wanted to play down to a level of what it takes to win a championship. And like I said, that's somewhat out of our control just because of, the craziness of this year with injuries and some COVID sit-outs. And, that's obviously something we wish we didn't have to deal with, but, that's life, that's sports. Sometimes uncontrollables happen and you just kind of roll with it.
Last three. Jovan.
Hey, Alex. You guys obviously struggled with shooting this series. I think you guys finished at 29.9% on threes. Was that kind of fluky in your opinion or kind of related to the injuries? Or is that something you feel like you guys need to kind of address this offseason of maybe changing some of the roster with some of the shooting?
I'd like to say and lean towards more fluky, just because I think the consistent body of work we had through the regular season, I think we shot the ball at least decent. I don't know what the numbers are, but I don't feel like we were a bad shooting team. We might have gone through bad stretches and it was unfortunate. I mean, we got open shots, open threes in the series, and we just didn't make them. Back rim misses, in and outs. But even at the rim, shots we normally make, we didn't convert. So I don't really know what to blame it on, what to point towards, but sometimes the ball just doesn't go in the basket.
Last two. Harrison.
Hey, Alex, you've become like a really cult fan favorite here during your time in LA, and you've been able to kind of, I guess, get some of the benefits of the off-court opportunities available here, the shoe deal, the Manscaped partnership, all that stuff. I was just wondering if like that fan support and also like the off-court opportunities, is that going to play any role in your free agency or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a realistic human being. I understand different things happen in LA for certain reasons, and forever grateful for that, and hopefully, we'll see where everything lies. But like I said, I gotta rank stuff, and that's obviously not something I've thought about in depth 12 hours after season ended. I'll look more into that in July, but yeah, those are definitely things that LA takes into consideration, maybe more so than other places.
Last question, Bill Oram.
Alex, I asked this only because Harrison just brought up Manscaped. How many takes did it take to deliver that line in that commercial without laughing? Like, did you nail it in one take, or did it take like?
Y'all don't understand that I get stuff done on and off the court. Like whenever I show up for my time period with that shoot. Like it was, I'm a one take kind of guy, you know, but they did a couple just to be safe.
Thank you so much, AC.
Thanks, guys.